Hi everyone, this is Pete here. So we are having our Lunar New Year tomorrow, but the market is already painting everywhere red. Okay, so for those of you who are also celebrating with me, right? Those of you will know, for us Lunar New Year, the auspicious color is red. Okay, but the market is also pretty red, right? So what we saw yesterday was that the semiconductors, especially companies like Nvidia, Broadcom, AMD, or so on and so forth, right? They have all fallen in excess of, I would say, 6%, right? Nvidia fell like 16%, AVGO fell like 17%. So the thing is why, right? The main reason is, once again, the whole Deepseek situation where people are wondering, hey, what will happen to Nvidia and all the semiconductors, since that now with Chinese AI, open source AI Deepseek, right, can achieve what ChatGPT has done, right, at OpenAI, right, at a fraction of the cost. Now, let me just talk about that very quickly, and I'll go through later on the stock ideas that I have for the Stock Market Genius community, right? So, like I mentioned in the Telegram group, it really doesn't make a lot of sense, right, to think of it as, simply because DeepSeek as a new AI system requires less processing power, therefore, the demand for chip will drop off. Right? Think about it, right? The whole AI development is like a war, right? Every corporate, right? Let's not talk about retail users, right? Like me and you, right? We are not big users of AI. The biggest user of AI are corporates, hedge funds, right? Companies, they are pitting against each other. So think about it, right? Think about it. With DeepSeek, what they did effectively is to bring down the cost, okay, of running the current AI engine, the current one, right? So let's call it version, they call it version 1, right? R1, okay? But the thing is this, making it cheaper to run the current version, does it mean that the users, all right, or the corporates and the hedge fund, they are pitting against each other, would not want to improve this to version 2? Right? No, right? They will definitely want to improve it to version 2. It just means that right now, it is cheaper for everyone to do so. Okay? Right? So no one is going to stop at version 1 just because it's cheaper to do so already, right? Everyone is still going to improve their AI power, right? So guess what? They are just going to use even more chips, in my opinion, right? Because the DeepSeek AI is not the final product. It is not the end goal, right? There can be even more advanced AI from there, right? So everyone will just pit against each other, keep on going higher and higher and higher. It is kind of like saying nuclear war, right? Last time when we had World War II, when there was a nuclear bomb, right? Subsequently, the cost of making a nuclear bomb was actually cheaper. But did nations stop at the first version of nuclear bomb? They did not. In fact, if anything, they went on to make even bigger bombs because it becomes no longer cost prohibitive to do so, right? So that's what I think is going to happen to this whole situation should DeepSeek be really that cheap. Right now, the question is what the Chinese companies say even true, right? There are some doubts about whether can they achieve what they have done at such a low cost. No one knows whether that is true or not. But let's say even if it is, right, I think what it will cause is that it's just accelerating the AI development, right? Currently, AI development may not be progressing as fast because it's very expensive to buy all the chips, right? It's a cost problem. But right now, with cost lower, it's just going to accelerate even faster. Okay, so that's point number 1. Now, point number 2 is this, right? Is that, think about it. Last time, all the various companies, right, if they were to run a full-fledged AI or large language model system, right, they will probably run it off, ChatGPT, right, with OpenAI or Gemini, with Google or with Microsoft, all right, or they will run it with Meta, the Llama system. But right now, if DeepSeek really delivers it at such a low cost, guess what? It lowers the barrier of entry for all the companies out there already, right? They will want to develop their own data centers so that they can run their own large language model, right? So think about it. Actually, by lowering the cost, what will trigger is that widespread adoption, right? Just think about it. Last time, think about it in terms of computer, right? Last time, long time ago, okay, when computer was still very expensive, guess what? We only have computers where, right? In schools, or maybe if you are old enough, at my age, you know that back then we have computer shops, right? LAN shops, right? We play games together. Only these places have high-end computers. Why? Because back then, high-end computers are very expensive. It is not even something that we would think about to have it in our house. But right now, I am using almost like a state-of-the-art Apple computer to record this. And guess what? It is not that expensive anymore. So what happens when the computing costs, right, came down? Is that end up computer exists in every household out there, right? So for me, it is the same revelation that I have right now with Deepseek. Is that should Deepseek really bring down the cost, who is going to be the main beneficiary? It's going to be the chip makers, because every companies out there will say, hey, last time it was so expensive, so I couldn't do it myself, but right now it is so cheap. Guess what? I want to do it myself, because there's a lot of benefits to having your own AI engine or LLM, right? Because you can not just run it, but you have ownership, you can protect it, you can make sure your data doesn't flow out of the system. So guess what? I think that's what's going to happen. Okay? So I view this whole shebangs, like the market coming down, right, as a great opportunity. And in fact, right, it's not just the semiconductor side, right, that has gone down. Actually, if you zoom out, you realize, actually, yesterday the market wasn't that bad, right? You think about it, you look at the whole screen here, right? It is mostly green, actually. Okay, so it is actually not as bad as what people thought, and I do see a lot of opportunities in it.